Once upon a time, in the small village of Osaba, there lived a young girl named Nneka. Nneka was the only daughter and last child of a village chief, Chief Amadi, who was well respected in Osaba village. Like other chiefs, Chief Amadi was a very wealthy man who took great care of his children. Despite having 4 sons and 1 daughter, Chief Amadi loved all of his children equally and ensured that they were all educated. The only problem Chief Amadi had was with his daughter, Nneka. Somehow, Nneka grew up to be very stubborn and she barely listened to her parents or older siblings. Aside from being stubborn, Nneka was also very curious. She loved to learn about things that were bigger than her age, and she loved to go on adventures. One of the adventures Nneka loved to do was visiting the stream, even though her parents and siblings had forbidden her from going there alone. The reason Chief Amadi didn't want Nneka visiting the stream was because in Osaba village, it was forbidden for little girls to enter the water, especially girls of Nneka's age. The only time a girl child could enter the stream was if she was above 10 years old. However, despite all the warnings to stay away from the stream, Nneka refused to listen until she got into trouble. That day, after her parents had gone out and her older brothers had fallen asleep, Nneka snuck out of the house and ran to the stream because she knew she would barely find anyone there at that hour of the day. Upon getting to the stream, Nneka took off her gown, jumped into the water and began swimming. Sadly, about a minute after she entered the water, something terrible happened. Suddenly, Nneka realized that she was stuck in one spot and couldn't move her arms or legs anymore. Sensing that she was in trouble, she began to cry out for help. "Help me! Please, somebody help me!" Nneka yelled. Luckily for her, the palm wine tapper who was heading to tap palm wine in that area heard her panicked cries and he ran to the stream. "Ah! Nneka! What are you doing there?" the palm wine tapper asked in shock. Since Osaba village was a small village where everyone knew one another, recognizing Nneka was easy. "Please help me!" Nneka cried. "I'm stuck! Drowning!" She added, "My dear, please stay still. I will be right back," the palm wine tapper said as he tossed his tapping rope on the ground and ran off to get help. A few minutes after the palm wine tapper left, he returned with the water priestess, a woman who had tied a white wrapper around her chest and adorned her neck, wrists and ankles with crystal white beads. By the time the palm wine tapper and the water priestess arrived at the stream, Nneka was nearly drowning, and the only part of her body that was still visible above the water was her head. No one could explain, but a strange force in the stream was slowly pulling Nneka's body into the ground. Without wasting time, the priestess hurriedly said some incantations, and she threw 7 white eggs into the water to appease the water spirits. As soon as she did that, Nneka's body popped out of the water, and the priestess helped her out of it. Even though the priestess had saved Nneka's life, she was mad at Nneka for disobeying the rules and offending the water spirits. In anger, the priestess pulled Nneka by the ear and then she took her back to her parents' house. Unfortunately for Nneka, her father, Chief Amadi, had returned home and he was even looking for her. "My priestess, I am so sorry. I promise this will not happen again. Please, do not be mad." Chief Amadi begged the priestess. "Chief Amadi, I only brought her home because of my respect for you. If your daughter goes back to that stream as an underage, she might not be lucky to tell the story," the priestess said. "Thank you for helping her. Please, tell the water spirits that I swear it will never happen again," Chief Amadi said. "Do not thank me. Thank Emeka, the palm wine tapper. If he didn't see her on time, you would have been holding her dead body, the priestess said. I will personally go to his house this evening and thank him, Chief Amadi said. Please, do not let this happen again. You already know the implications of what she did today. I have to keep appeasing the spirits so they do not hold this against her, the priestess said before leaving. As soon as the priestess left Chief Amadi's house, Chief Amadi gave Nneka a dirty slap and she burst into tears. How many times have I warned you to stay away from that stream? You want to kill me before my time, eh? Chief Amadi yelled at her. As for you, why did you let Nneka out of the house? I left her under your care and you let her sneak to the stream? Chief Amadi yelled at his oldest son. Papa, we were sleeping when it happened. We thought she was sleeping too, Nneka's oldest brother explained. I'm sorry, sir, he added. Sorry for yourself. If this foolish girl had drowned in that stream, do you know what I would have done to all of you? Chief Amadi yelled. We are sorry, Papa. It will not happen again, Nneka's brothers said in unison. As for you, I do not want you to step your feet outside. If I catch you outside there, I will skin you alive. Chief Amadi turned to Nneka, who was still crying from the hard slap. After Nneka nearly lost her life, her parents and brothers believed that she would become obedient and stay away from trouble. But they were mistaken. About 2 weeks after the stream incident, Nneka did something far worse. In Osaba village, there was something called the Masquerade Festival. Every end of the year, masquerades would parade the whole village and entertain the villagers, and this always lasted for 7 days. As part of their culture, adults and children would watch the masquerades display their moves, play with them, and even follow them around the village throughout the festival. But there was an exception. On the last day of the festival, which is the 7th day, the masquerades would only dance after sunset, and women and children were not allowed to watch or even look at them. Every child and woman in Osaba village knew this, including Nneka. But as a stubborn and curious girl, Nneka deliberately broke the rule. On the 7th day of the festival, children and women were allowed to walk freely in the village. But once it was time for the masquerades to dance in the evening, they all returned to their houses. That evening, to fool her mother, Nneka pretended to be asleep in her room because she knew her mother would try to watch her. In the past, Nneka had adopted this tactic, and it worked all the time. She didn't only do this with her mother, she did it with her older siblings too, and it always worked. When Nneka's mother was convinced that Nneka was asleep, she returned to her room, and as soon as Nneka heard her mother's receding footsteps, she opened her eyes slowly and ran to her room's window. Coincidentally, at the same time Nneka was peeking outside her room's window, a sacred masquerade passed by, and Nneka had a good look at it. After minutes of watching all the masquerades dance and entertain the men, Nneka got tired and returned to bed, but almost immediately, something unexpected happened. Instead of her usual room's appearance, Nneka saw her bed as the sacred masquerade. The first one she had seen, and immediately she screamed in fear. Nneka, what is it? Nneka's mother asked as she rushed to Nneka's room. But another surprising thing happened. Immediately Nneka's mother entered her room, Nneka screamed and jumped dramatically. What is it? Nneka's mother asked in a panic. Talk to me, Nneka! Why are you screaming? She added. I'm seeing the sacred masquerade everywhere! In fact, you look like it right now! Nneka said in a teary voice. I don't understand. Why would you see me as the sacred masquerade? Nneka's mother asked in a confused tone. What is happening? I heard someone scream, Chief Amadi asked as he stormed Nneka's room in a hurry. Again, as soon as Nneka saw her father, she screamed and covered her eyes.
What is wrong with her?
Chief Amadi asked Nneka's mother.
I don't know. I heard her scream and I ran into the room. When I asked her why she was screaming, she said that I looked like the sacred masquerade.
Nneka's mother said,
The sacred masquerade? Nneka, is that true?
Chief Amadi yelled.
No, please, don't come close to me. You both look like the sacred masquerade.
Nneka said. By this time, Nneka's eyes had turned red from crying, and it was apparent she was scared of something.
Nneka!
Chief Amadi yelled.
What did you do? Tell me the truth now!
He added.
I didn't do anything, Papa!
Nneka lied.
If you do not tell me the truth, you will scream until you die! Now, I want you to listen to me and answer my questions. Did you look at any of the masquerades this evening?
Chief Amadi asked. At first, Nneka wanted to lie to her father, but because she was afraid of dying, she told him the truth.
Look at what you have caused now. Why can't you listen to your parents like every other child? Do you understand the implication of what you have done?
Chief Amadi yelled, but Nneka did not answer.
My husband, what do we do now? From the look of things, it seems like she has seen the sacred masquerade that is forbidden for women and children to see.
Nneka's mother said.
I don't know what to do. No one in this village has ever had this situation before. Why does this girl keep putting me in a tough spot? Is it a taboo to have a girl child?
Chief Amadi said.
I think you should go to the king of masquerades and let him know. He might know what to do. I'm afraid if we fold our hands and watch Nneka, she might go mad.
Nneka's mother said in a teary voice.
Woman, please stop crying. This isn't the time for you to cry. After the festival ends, I will go and see the king of masquerades.
Chief Amadi said.
No, my husband. If we wait for that long, something bad might happen to our daughter.
Nneka's mother said.
And if something bad happens to her, I will not forgive you.
She added.
So what do you want me to do? Weren't you supposed to be watching her?
Chief Amadi yelled.
Do you want me to go and stop the festival because your disobedient daughter did something she wasn't supposed to do?
Chief Amadi growled and then walked out on his wife. Later that evening, after the festival ended, Chief Amadi went to the king of masquerades and explained everything to him. Knowing that something bad could happen to Nneka if he didn't get there on time, the king of masquerades followed Chief Amadi to his house, and when he saw Nneka, he was forced to do something he had never done before. Without wasting time, the king of masquerades took Nneka to the masquerade's shrine, muttered some incantations with the kola nut, and then performed a powerful ritual with a live chicken. After the whole ritual, he locked Nneka up with the mask of the sacred masquerade for 3 days. During those 3 days, Nneka was not allowed to see anyone. She also stayed without food and water, which was a part of the purification ritual. Luckily for Nneka, the purification ritual worked. She stopped seeing the sacred masquerade in people's faces and wherever she looked, and her normal sight was restored. After all these happened, Nneka's parents and siblings, including the villagers of Usaba, thought that Nneka had learned her lesson and would stop disobeying her parents and elders. But they were wrong again. Nneka enjoyed being a rebellious child and didn't learn any lessons from her terrible experiences. Instead, she looked forward to doing the very things people warned her against. Unfortunately, after getting away with many things, Nneka did something that ruined her forever, and she was forced to live with the consequences of her disobedience. Watch out for part 2. Did you enjoy this story? Tell us your favorite part in the comment section below. Please like, share and subscribe to our channel. Also, Do not forget to follow our channel on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you.